1 month of Pionex dual investment is done and dusted. So let's look at what we have achieved and should we continue doing that. So let's just straight head into it. This is my history. You see, I placed a lot of orders, basically I think around 30 in total, so basically more or less every day. Apart from the weekends, I did them for 2 or 3 days because otherwise the yield was not very appealing, because on the weekend not much is going on. So first of all, I started with $2,500, and if we only look at the rewards we received, or I received, just from buying one direction or the other direction, I in total got $133.01. I earned 108,567 sats, or 0.001 Bitcoin. And in the beginning I was also playing around a bit with Ethereum, so I also made 0.014 Ethereum, of course, because when you use the coin side, so when you buy the sell high, as a reward you get the coin instead of the dollar amount, which I think is really, really cool. So you can, for example, use that as a way to just earn more from the coin. What are the results? As I said, initially 2,500 was the starting point. If you look at my current order, you can already see it's 2,938. And when this order is done and dusted, we are at 2,946. This will be tomorrow morning. So from 2,500 to 2,946, these are $446 in total. So close to what, 18% return of investment in 30 days, which is huge. At least I'm happy. I'm also already happy. I would be happy with 6 to 7% a month, because this is still doubling your investment in 1 year. Why was the number so high this month? Because it's a little bit more easy to do this, of course, in a rising market environment. So one thing, if you watch one of my other videos, I explained that wheel where I got assigned at 93,000 and only sold at 96. So you, in combination to the rewards, you also got the difference in the sell and buy, which of course helps increasing the numbers. So if you add up what I initially said, you will not end at $446. It will be less. So, but that's part of the game. So you can always decide, when I get assigned, do I use the exact same strike price again, or do I go higher? So for example, I was, as I said, assigned at 93. I think the first time afterwards I decided to go for 94. Then it rose a bit but did not hit 94. Then I moved to 96 sooner or later. Watch my other video where I explained that wheel. And I could have just stayed at 93. I would have gotten more rewards, but I would not have gotten anything out from the difference between buying and selling. How was my approach regarding selection of what to invest? Well, I think I spent like 2 or 3 minutes a day. I was just basic, okay, I'm collecting my current investment and slapping on a new one. I wanted to have something that is above 0.1%, so this, well, for example, would not be going. And I want something that is above my current strike price where I was assigned to. That's it. If I can't get something interesting in 1 day, I took 2 days. There's no rocket science. I didn't watch any charts. I had no indicators. You can probably fine-tune that, but I was going each day 8 UTC, collecting my investment from the day when it expired, and within 2 or 3 minutes I was doing the next one. So I was spending for this full month maybe 3 hours in total. So as I said, like 5 minutes per day. I think it doesn't get easier than that. Looking back at the history, one of the risks doing this is missing money, meaning you are buying a sell high, but below, a lot below what the market is actually doing. So this is actually something that happened 2 days ago from my side as well. So I had a target price of 96,000, which was actually already the price I was assigned to. So no difference in selling and buying, but I wanted it to do that way. And we landed at 99,000. So I missed 3,000, of course, multiplied by 3% because it was 0.03 Bitcoin investment. So I missed out around 3,000 multiplied by 3%, give or take $90 on profit there. But what would be the other way to do this? The other way would of course be just buy and wait. And I rather buy, or try to buy, get paid, try to sell, get paid, because timing the market is, I don't think it's working. So I could have waited until it reached 100,000, which actually it did today, but because it was because of some macroeconomic news. And we didn't know beforehand that these news were coming. They could have been 2 months of nothing happening and you would be waiting. And Bitcoin itself has no interest rate. So you can, with this, you generate basically an interest rate, a really good interest rate. If you make 6 to 10% a month, what can you ask for more? At least I'm happy. So this is no financial advice, but try it out if you want to. You can either start directly with USDT or with Bitcoin, and you need to decide for yourself what your target is. Is your target making regular money like I do? Or for example, is your target just multiplying your coins, which you could also do by just buying Bitcoin or depositing Bitcoin here and selling way out, like it needs to go up 5 or 6%. You will not get much because it's so far away, but you will get something. So let's have a look at, for example, what we could get if we say, okay, we want to just earn or increase our Bitcoin holdings. So we would go to invest Bitcoin and sell BTC high to earn USDT is actually what we want. And we could say, okay, we want to have like a 10% or 6% up move. Now let's go 10%. We go 10% in 8 days. Okay, fine, cool. What would be the ROI? It would be 0.15% in 8 days. So it's really not that much. But considering we put in 0.1 Bitcoin, you still would get 15,300 Satoshi just for doing that. And if you do it the next time, you could already increase your investment with the additional 0.35, which you got, and then you keep on and on and on. It will increase compounding effect and so on. Of course, 8 days, the compounding effect will be not that fast, and 15,000 sats are not that much when you invest 10 million sats, but your goal is just to slowly but surely increase your coins. Or you could do what I do, get quite aggressive. Let's say you are targeting the 102,000 strike price tomorrow. If you do that, again 0.1 BTC, you would either get again 16,500 Satoshi, but this time in 1 day and not in 8, or you would get $10,216. So you would get $16, I think, roughly. It's probably not the best example because the 1 day expiry, it's only a couple of hours, like 14 hours. So if we had to the same strike price, we need to go to the aggressive mode in this case. 2 days, 102,000, and we see it's an ROI of 0.45%. So it's an for 2 days, so it's 0.225 per day. Again, going for the 0.1 Bitcoin. Now we're talking about 45,000 Satoshis or $45.90 as a reward. You would probably want to go, if you're doing 2 days, you probably want to go more like the a bit higher. Let's go 2 days and say 103,000. If you want to also earn something from selling high, buying low. I don't know what your initial buying price would be, but let's say you bought it at 100,000 and now you're at 25,000 Satoshi or $26. And of course, if you bought it at 100,000, you would also get $3,000 if you would have invested a complete Bitcoin. And as we are currently talking about 0.1, so you get 10% of that as well. So if you bought it at 100,000, you paid 10,000 and you now sold it back for 10,326. So 26 more than just by waiting. And it might not be at 103,000 in 2 days. It might be in 3 or 4 days, and you can continue doing that. So I will probably doing a monthly recap video to see and to track the performance for you guys, for me. So if you want to get informed when a new update is released, please subscribe. Otherwise, you find a link in the description where you can start your journey with Pionex and dual investment. Pionex has a lot of other stuff. I'm currently testing out the bots, but there is no conclusion yet, so there will be an update video regarding, or an initial video regarding the bots. And yeah, if you found it helpful or liked the content, please leave a like. Otherwise, if you have something, leave a comment and talk to you next time.